Hey guys, it's Jen with Jen's. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. And of course, if this is your first time, welcome. If you've broken a nail, there's no need to cut them all down. In this video, I'm going to show you how to fix it with a coffee filter. What you need is a coffee filter, scissors, dip base and activator, clear dip powder, a dust brush, a nail file, and a buffing block. So we'll start with the coffee filter, and what you want to do first is cut a square from the edge of the filter. Don't worry if it's not the perfect size yet, because we'll be able to cut it and fit it to your nail. So once you have the square cut, now we're going to actually cut it and trim it to the size we need. So put it on your fingernail and see where you need to trim it and make it the right size. Don't worry if it's not the exact shape you need it yet. We're just looking for size right now. You want to make sure when you're sizing the coffee filter that you don't cut it too big or too small. If it's too big and it goes over your sidewall of your nail, or if it's too small and it doesn't fit the whole free edge of the nail, then you'll end up having lifting. And nobody wants lifting, especially when you spend so much time making your nails beautiful. Once the coffee filter is cut to the right size, then we need to put the coffee filter on. We're going to use a dip base. This one's by Double Dip. So I did go off camera here, so I'm sorry I'm out of shot, but all I did was I painted my nail, the full nail, with just one layer of dip base. This acts like a glue, so when we get the coffee filter, I think I get into shot here. There we go. So see, I painted the whole nail with the dip base, and now we're just going to place the coffee filter on the nail. You just want to get it to lay flat, so use your finger, kind of tap lightly, just get it to lay in place. You might want to use a tool. I used a dotting tool, but you can use a toothpick or an orange stick, or just use your finger. But the goal here is to just get the coffee filter to lay flat on your nail and to make sure that it's even along your side walls, because again, that will cause lifting if it's not. And plus, it won't look very good if it's not even with your sidewall. And the reason that I did a full coat over the whole nail instead of just the tip where the coffee filter was going to go was so that I could keep my nails even and level. So here you see I'm trimming the side of the coffee filter. Once the filter is on your nail, then you're going to know the shape of your nail and you're going to know where you need to cut it. It doesn't make any sense to try to figure out the shape of it before it's on your nail because you don't know where your nails end. So just take some scissors and just trim the edge. It will cut down your filing a whole heck of a lot. And then get it to the length that you want. Once you are mostly happy with the size and the shape of the coffee filter, I say mostly because we're still going to file it to get it perfect at the end. Now it's time to do your first dip of clear. So you're going to put the dip base onto your nail. I don't do a full coat. I just do about 3/4 of the nail for the first dip. And that is just so that we can build an apex and so that the liquid doesn't pool up our cuticle so we don't have really, really thick cuticles. So do a coat of base on 3/4 of your nail and then dip it into the clear powder. Make sure you tap off the excess powder, and there's our first layer of dip. And then dust off the excess powder. At this point, it's still pretty weak. It's not strong because we did not put the activator on yet. So don't go messing with it. It needs to be hardened, but we want to do another layer of the dip of the clear first before doing that. So I'm using Double Dip's clear. I forgot to tell you that. Double Dip has a really great clear. It's crystal clear. It's one of the best in the market. So now for this one, I do go all the way to my cuticle, but you want to make sure when you're putting the liquid on that you kind of push it back with the brush so that it doesn't, again, pool up at your cuticle. So do a full coat of base and then dip the whole nail in, tap off the excess, and then dust it off with a brush. And it's still not hard yet because we haven't activated it, but that will be the next step. Just want to make sure that it looks good to you. Got a good apex. I was happy with this. I only did 2 layers, that's all I needed, but if you feel that you need 3, you can certainly do that. And the next step, like I said, is the activator, using Double Dip's activator as well. So put a generous amount on there. Again, this is what hardens your nails. So you really want to make sure that you have enough to get down in there, to get to the very bottom layer. Of course, I only did 2 layers, so it's not super thick, but you want to make sure there's enough to really soak in and harden the nail. If it's not hardened when we file, then it's worthless. And it won't harden without the activator. So, very important step. And now it's time for filing. This is where we're going to finalize the shape, make sure that it's the shape that you want and that it's the length that you want, and make it pretty. Inspect your nail and check it and make sure that it's not too thick. If you see parts that are too thick, then go ahead and take a file to it. I did not need to use an e-file for this nail. It wasn't too thick. There was just a little bit of cleaning up that I needed to do. But sometimes you might need to do a little bit more filing, and sometimes you won't. In this case, I didn't really need to do that much. And as always, brush off the excess dust, brush off everything from filing, and then admire your beautiful work. And then this next step is probably one of the most important steps. Well, actually, that's a lie. Every single step is important. The activator is pretty important. So is filing, so is getting the filter to be the right size. But you know what I mean. Buffing your nail is super important, especially if you're going to move on to use a peel base. Like I do. I use peel base before my color. If your nail surface is not smooth, the peel base will not stick and it will not work. So buff the crap out of your nail and get it as smooth as possible. And as always, the next step from here is to brush off the dust. And we are just about finished up here, guys. The next step from here would either be a top coat or a peel base, which is what I did, or you could continue on with color. So what do you guys think? We just fixed a nail with a coffee filter. Who knew that would work? I think it looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.